Oh my God!
The attacker took a video before committing his act.
My goal is at least 20 people with an AR-15 and a couple tracer rounds. I think I could get done. Location is Stone Douglas in Parkland, Florida. You're all going to die. Pew, 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 pew.
After the attack began, 911 operators started receiving constant calls.
911, what's your emergency?
Please help me to high school.
Well, what school is it?
Shooter.
Okay, is anybody injured?
Yes, a lot of blood. Please help, please.
Students were having fun among themselves at school before the attack started.
Are they talking like? Yeah. Shower. Maddie, are you trying to flirt with me? Yeah. Really? Which one? DMB. Really?
Everything was going well when suddenly it turned into a nightmare.
Holy Oh my God!
When the attack began, many students notified their families, and families immediately came to the school. They had no choice but to wait anxiously. Some children managed to escape outside and hugged their families. However, families whose children did not come were even more afraid. This attack was recorded as the bloodiest high school attack in American history. After the incident, this school building was closed and never used. This building, where a bloody tragedy took place, was demolished in 2024.
The scene of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School mass shooting is being demolished. The tearing down of the building started this morning.
It was Valentine's Day, February 14, 2018. Nikolas Cruz, 19, who was expelled from school for disciplinary infractions, returns to school in a rage. The attacker, Nikolas, entered the school through the S door of building 1200. There were approximately 800 students and staff in the building. The attacker entered the building and first pulled out an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle from his bag. At that moment, he came face to face with a student. The attacker warned the student, saying, "Get away from here. Things are going to get very chaotic." The student quickly walked away and reported the situation to a staff member. After preparing his weapon, the attacker started shooting from the corridor on the first floor. He first shot at 3 students in the hallway, and those 3 students died instantly because there was no alarm or warning. Others at the school did not realize what was happening. After killing 3 students in the hallway, the attacker moved forward and started shooting randomly through the glass partitions in the classroom doors. He started with class number 1216. 1 student died there and 3 others were injured.
My classroom was the first classroom that was shot into. When the first shots were heard, I thought it was a drill, because something like this, it can't be real.
The attacker also shot at classrooms 1214 and 1215. All these gunshots were heard in classroom 1255 on the 3rd floor, but they couldn't understand that these sounds were an attack. They thought it was something else. Their failure to understand this prevented them from taking precautions.
Bro, what the? I know you got taken.
Holy
When we first heard it going off, we were just like, oh, it's computer cart. 'Cause computer cart it's like a giant metal cart that all the computers would be in. It would go up and down floors, so you would hear like sometimes like do 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 do. So we heard that, and all of us just looked and went, oh, it's computer cart. That was the only explanation.
While the students in classroom 1214 were trying to protect their lives, the attacker continued to shoot.
Holy
The attacker killed 2 people and injured 4 others in this classroom.
I was just waiting for him to open the door because all you had to do was reach your hand, and I could see the door from where I was crouched with the kids, and he could just easily have opened the door. And I was thinking to myself, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to say something. I was going to stand up. I didn't know if I'd get the chance, but my first reaction was I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say, we love you, because I thought, how can you shoot people that love you?
Okay, it's a senior prank. It's Valentine's Day. So I saw red on the floor and I was telling myself, oh, it's a paintball gun. And then when I looked up, I saw Helena slumped over dead. And that's when I went into survival mode. And as soon as I saw her, Nikolas Cruz fell over to the ground. And when he fell over, I just followed his every move and I fell over with him, and then I put myself underneath his body and I laid there. I was just praying, and then at one point I told God that if it was going to be anywhere, just make sure it's somewhere that I die quickly and I can't feel it. And after laying there for about what felt to be an eternity, but it was more like 20 seconds, he moved on to the next class. Nikolas's body got heavy on me, the weight, so I rolled him off of me and I placed his head on his arm so his head wouldn't be on the cold floor.
While all this was going on, the calls to the 911 hotline began to increase. The callers were asking for help in fear and panic.
911, what's your emergency?
Please help. Someone just high school.
Oh, what school is it?
A shooter.
Okay, is anybody injured?
Yes, a lot of blood. Please help, please.
Parkland School High School being shot up.
It's being shot up? Are you at the school? I can't hear you. Are you at the school?
You hear where the shots are coming from?
It was in the hallway. They were shooting into my classroom.
They're shooting into your classroom?
They were.
Okay. Do you hear the shots now?
Well, we're in class 1214.
What is it?
1214.
1214? Is there any way that the doors can lock? Is the teacher in there with you?
Yes, the door is locked. My teacher's on the phone too, I think. But he shot her window in, so he could open the door if he wanted to. It's from the inside now.
The attacker, Nikolas, continued his attack. He headed back to classroom number 1260. Meanwhile, the smoke from the attacker's weapon activated the school's fire extinguishing system. The teachers and students on the 3rd floor, who did not know exactly what was happening.
Fire alarm goes off. We are trained to just exit. It's like a rote response. So I grabbed my emergency folder and my phone, like I always do, told everyone where we would meet outside, and everyone started filing out of the class. The hallway was filled with kids.
The hallway, when we went out, it was super crowded. You were like this with people because every class was out there.
When the fire system was activated, the attacker continued to fire. 2 students lost their lives and 2 students were injured in class number 1216. Meanwhile, in classroom number 1213, all these events were being recorded by the students under fear. The attacker killed 1 student and injured 3 others in class number 1213.
I was standing on the other side of my desk to assess the situation, and I saw one of my students was laying there lifeless. She was unresponsive. That was Carmen. I went up closer to see, but there was no movement, no nothing. She was just laying there in a pool of her blood. Her hair was covering her face.
There were some school employees who heard the alarm sounds and gunshots in the school, and these people wanted to intervene in the incident. The school's athletic trainer entered through the west door to intervene in the attacker. His aim was to stop the attacker from behind. The attacker was in front of classroom 1214 at the time, and when he saw the approaching staff, he shot and wounded him. The badly injured employee crawled on the ground and took shelter behind a door. However, as the attacker was about to go up to the second floor, he shot the staff again and killed them. Meanwhile, the student that Nikolas had threatened before the event started told the school's football coach about the situation, and the coach came to the building from the west side. Unfortunately, when he opened the door, he came face to face with the attacker and lost his life immediately. The attacker stayed on the first floor for 2 minutes and 13 seconds and killed 11 people, including 2 personnel, and injured 13 others.
In 2 different bursts.
17 Juliet 3. 17 Bravo 3. 17 Bravo 4. 17 Bravo 4.
I think we got shot spot.
After the massacre on the first floor, the attacker Nikolas headed to the second floor, but there was no one in the corridor. Because of the gunshots on the first floor, all the teachers had locked the classrooms from inside and hid all the students from being seen from the outside.
Nobody was killed on the second floor because there weren't any targets. We had enough warning to clear out the hallway and hide before he was on the second floor.
When Nikolas saw no one in corridor, he went crazy. He started shooting randomly around. Perhaps those inside had begun to scream in fear, revealing their location and becoming the target of the attacker. Fortunately, everyone managed to stay calm.
We were very quiet, and even when he shot into a couple classrooms, there was no reaction, there was no noise. And it just so happened that the 2 classrooms he shot in did not have students or a teacher in it. And I also heard from a teacher that he said something along the lines like, "No one's here." So I think he, out loud.
At this time, the students on the 3rd floor were either in the corridor or in the stairwells. After the events on the 2nd floor, they realized that this was an attack and started running around in panic. Hearing the screams on the 3rd floor, the attacker quickly went up to the 3rd floor from the east and appeared in front of all the students.
I stood there for a couple of seconds looking at all the other students run into the classrooms, and then I turned around and Beagle's door was open again and I ran in. Mr. Beagle held the door open for students to run in. He didn't make it out, but I was the last person to run inside the classroom. So if it wasn't for him having the door open, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
The attacker committed such a massacre on the 3rd floor that the sounds could be heard easily from the 1st floor.
Window.
Meanwhile, everyone in the classrooms on the third floor was afraid.
Shot fired by the football field. Heard.
Shut the lights. It's going to be the 300 building. It's going to be right off of Goldberg Road. Good.
Don't panic.
What's going on? Anyone know? Shut up.
This is real? You think this is real?
Shut up.
There's no way this is real.
Lock down, gentlemen.
The attacker started shooting as soon as he reached the third floor, wounding many students. Some students fled to the classrooms, but some students were trapped in the hallway. While the attacker was reloading his gun in the hallway, some students tried to escape from the west side. However, Nikolas noticed this and continued shooting towards that area. As a result, 2 more students died. He then targeted the other injured people and killed a total of 1 teacher and 5 students on the third floor. One of the students managed to survive despite being shot 5 times. However, his screams were heard by everyone.
Like the first few nights, I just remember thinking oh my god, I couldn't help him. Just horrible, since the door was right there and we could have easily gone out. It's just horrible to think that you couldn't help someone.
We heard someone calling for help, and I would look at them and I would just shake my head and I would tell them no, no, no.
My students and I were all looking at each other like, what do we do? But it could have been the shooter trying to lure us out. You open up your door and you open up the possibility of getting all your students and yourself killed.
It was now time for the attacker to escape. He left all his weapons and equipment in the stairwell on the third floor and started to walk away quickly. The attacker left the building from the west side. He headed toward Building 6 and tried to camouflage himself among the panicking students. SWAT teams arrived at the school minutes after the attacker fled and were horrified by what they found.
Three down. 3 injured. Is anybody injured?
Yeah.
Shot. Where? Come here.
Right here.
You come up. Can you walk? Where were you shot? I need help. I need help. Somebody help me. We got it.
Logan, my desk is my water bottle. Can you get my phone? With the bag, with the water bottle next to the balloon. Yes. Let's go, come on, let's go. Let's go. Come
on, follow me, follow me, follow me. Okay, please.
Where?
On the wall. Go.
Oh my God.
Over the street. All right, come on. Drop the backpack. Drop it. Let's go. Go. Keep going to the street. Go.
Police teams were constantly on alert for the possibility that the attacker was still in the building. That's why they thought everyone was potentially dangerous and took precautions accordingly.
I told you. Yeah, breathe. Push your window.
Okay, everyone on the floor. Everyone on the floor. On the floor. Please. Put your phones away. Put your phones away. Run to the auditorium. Get everybody down.
After the attacker left the school, he went to a few stores and then he met up with a friend as if nothing had happened. It is very sad that this friend was the brother of the student he had seriously injured at school a moment ago. Nikolas then went outside and started walking. He was noticed and caught by a police officer in the area 1 hour after the incident. After he was caught, he tried to portray himself as a psychologically ill person by using strange expressions.
What's going on? What's going on today, bro?
The demons, man.
Demons?
Voices.
Yeah, no problem.
Voices.
Voices and demons?
Where's the voices? What the What happened?
Shut up. Just be quiet, man. Shut up.
The same day, authorities made statements about the incident. They reported that 17 people, 3 of whom were school staff, were killed and 17 were injured in the attack. They said the attacker was caught and his interrogation was ongoing. The attacker, Nikolas, continued to display strange and inconsistent behavior throughout the interrogation. With these behaviors, he wants to give the impression that he is mentally unstable. His aim is to be exempt from punishment or to get rid of the charges.
Go there a minute, have a seat on the floor chair, alright? Put your hands up a little bit. Have a seat. Don't think about getting up, right, buddy? Just shrug this close it. All right, how you doing, Nick? You all right? Gotta be able to speak so I can hear you. All right, I just need to ask you really your name and date of birth just to confirm I got it right, and then I'm gonna see you want a glass of water or something. What's your first name? Come on, Nick. Huh? Spell it for me.
Okay.
Come on, I'm old. You gotta talk so I can hear you. N-I-K. O.
Oh.
Okay. A-S. And what's your middle name? Come on, man. Speak so I can hear you.
Jacob.
Jacob. J-A-C. What's your date of birth? Okay, you need to relax, because I'm the last detective or policeman you're going to have to talk to. So right off the bat, that should be somewhat comforting to you to know that I'm the last guy you got to talk to. But the thing about it is, look at me. I got to be able to hear you. Okay? So all I want to do is get basic information from you, and then we'll get into the, whether you want a glass of water, all that stuff. What's your date of birth?
09.
January?
09.
09 September.
The detective knows the answers to these questions. The aim is to encourage the attacker to talk and to check Nichols' mental health. All of these may be used as evidence in court in the future.
All right. Let me do this. You want cold water? You don't know if you want cold water? Thank you. Well, I'm going to bring in 2, because I want one that was hot. And if you decide you want to have it, that's fine. You sure you don't want something to eat? Yeah, throw them on the floor in the corner. All right, this one is mine, because I already opened it. This one's yours in case you change your mind. What about your phone? Do you have a phone?
I lost it.
When did you lose it? Today? Okay. What kind of phone is it?
I don't know.
Okay, is it a flip top, an iPhone, a Samsung? It's a phone. What's the number?
I can't remember.
The attacker was trying to fake hysteria. His aim was to convince the detective that he was psychologically ill.
Calm down.
Okay.
You've already been medically cleared. I know what's going to be talked about is difficult, but again, you don't remember your phone number. How long you had the phone? How long have you had the phone? Nick, the doctor's already looked at you.
Okay.
Okay, you're fine. You're not having any problems at the moment, and you're perfectly fine. So calm your breathing down, all right? And I want to believe certain things that you're going to tell me, but, if we're getting where you're going to hyperventilate over a phone number, okay? All right. So what's your phone number? Huh?
The attacker claimed to hear voice and demons constantly during questioning. He said that he had been hearing these voices for a long time and that they were guiding him. He claimed that the night before the attack, voices were telling Nichols to hurt people. The detective asked him why he didn't get help. He replied, "I don't like the devil either, and I'm afraid of him." The attacker ended the interrogation by requesting a lawyer and a psychologist. The attacker was charged with 17 counts of first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted murder. The first trial was held on February 15, 2018. The attacker initially pleaded not guilty and presented his defense accordingly. However, at the hearing on October 20, 2021, he admitted all the charges and apologized to all the victim families.
Is there anything else that either side wishes to add to the record or present at this time?
I believe Mr. Cruz wanted to make a statement to the court and to the victims present in the courtroom.
Okay.
May I take off my mask?
Sure.
I am very sorry for what I did, and I have to live with it every day. And that if I were to get a second chance, I will do everything in my power to try to help others. And I am doing this for you, and I do not care if you do not believe me. And I love you, and I know you don't believe me, but I have to live with this every day. And it brings me nightmares, and I can't live with myself sometimes, but I try to push through because I know that's what you guys would want me to do. I hate drugs, and I believe this country would do better if everyone would stop smoking marijuana and doing all these drugs and causing racism and violence out in the streets. I'm sorry, and I can't even watch TV anymore. And I'm trying my best to maintain my composure, and I just want you to know I'm really sorry. And I hope you give me a chance to try to help others. If I believe it's your decision to decide where I go and whether I live or die. Not the jury's, I believe, is your decision. I'm sorry.
Okay, anything else?
The prosecution sought the death penalty for the defendant under Florida state law. Thus, a jury trial focused solely on determining the sentence began in 2022. The prosecution demanded the death penalty, emphasizing that the attacker's actions were planned, cold-blooded, and extremely brutal. In his opening statement at the trial on July 18, 2022, he gave the details of this attack to the jury. He described how the attacker went through classrooms one by one, shot and killed some of the wounded, and how he hunted the building like a hunter, and played to the jury a video that the attacker had recorded on his phone.
My name is Nick, and I'm going to be the next school shooter of 2018. My goal is at least 20 people with an AR-15 and a couple tracer rounds. I think I can get done. Location is Stone Douglas in Parkland, Florida. It's going to be a big event. And when you see me on the news, you'll all know who I am. You're all going to die. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah. Can't wait. Today is the day that it all begins. The day of my massacre shall begin. All the kids in school will run in fear and hide. From the wrath of my power, they will know who I am. I am nothing, I am no one. My life is nothing and meaningless. Everything that I hold dear, I let go beyond your half. Every day I see the world ending another day. I live a lone life, live in seclusion and solitude.
The trial lasted 4 months. On October 13, 2022, the 12-person jury announced its verdict. 3 members of the jury were against the death penalty. Because there was no unanimous verdict, the assailant did not receive the death penalty. Instead, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. The jury's decision not to impose the death penalty caused great controversy throughout America, and Florida removed the unanimous jury requirement for the death penalty. After this decision, the victimized families were very angry. One of the families demanded justice from others.
The fact that I have to share my world with you is disgusting. The fact that I have to breathe the same air you breathe is reprehensible. I can't wait till that ends. Your sentencing today does not end the book. This chapter is done. But what we're missing is the epilogue. And for me, I look forward to reading that epilogue. What will happen to you in jail? You'll be passed around like an inanimate object. Your protection will be paid for by your commissary and probably with your body. You'll be someone's, and you deserve it. Passed around from group to group until you get tired of it. You will be a commodity, traded like bubblegum, cigarettes, drugs, or candy. And one last point, well maybe not last point. My 70th birthday is February 2024. My hope, my prayer for my birthday present is to get word that you are dead. That the justice system was done in jail. That the prisoners that you and inmates that you have to associate with executed the judgment that this court can't. And I hope that it's the most painful judgment ever. Hope that when your final death comes, you have the same fear, the same agony as the 16 people you killed and my son. Hope that your death is slow and agonizing, because it won't be like a state execution.
What do you think?